saying goodbye, going away. Seems like goodbye, such a hard thing to say.
Touching a hand, wondering why. It's time for saying goodbye.
Welcome to another episode of The Scoop. So, Mr. Devin, we did come in with a different song today.
Yeah.
And it's symbolic because this is more than likely the last episode that I'm going to get to record with you for a year.
This is the last episode you will record with me for a year.
I mean, unless some miracle happens to where you escape Jamaica and are able to come back to the States.
Yeah.
You know, I mean...
I don't know why I would want to leave Jamaica, though.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't want to leave Jamaica either. So, but before we really do get into the meat of this episode, something huge happened today.
Huge.
Well, I guess last night. In Vegas, there was a gunman that opened fire on, I think it was a country music festival. And like 50 or 60 people are reported dead, with hundreds reporting injured.
Mm-hmm.
I know that everybody was saying, you know, oh, don't give you just your thoughts and prayers, but I mean, you know, the best advice that I could give is take a moment out and, you know, show compassion to someone out there that, you know, maybe you've not seen eye to eye with. You know, even in the aftermath of it, you saw a few people who were posting things saying like, you know, they were probably all Trump supporters, and, you know, oddball shit to where it's like...
Politics aside.
Yeah, politics aside, 60 people are dead, and...
You want to bring up politics
and
about
500 people are, you know...
Injured.
And you want to bring up the fact that Donald Trump is the president. You know, whether you like him, dislike him, that shouldn't be brought up regarding that whole situation.
And whether they're Republican or Democrat, that makes no difference. I'm sure there's parties of both
I'm sure that
were there.
Both parties that were there, yes. So, you know, with that being said, yes, our thoughts on and prayers are with those people. If you do have a way that you can help them, I know that I heard a lot of people saying blood drives, and you know, I even saw some article out there saying that the Mandalay Bay, I guess, staff was looking for support people. You know, like if you're a
registered nurse.
Well, not really a registered nurse, but like a
first responder.
Like a tragedy counselor. I forget the exact wording for it, but, you know, I mean, reach out to someone that maybe you don't see eye to eye with, and try and make amends. But with that being said, Mr. Devin, it is, as we said, possibly your last episode for a
This
year.
is very depressing so far.
It is.
I'm just going to say it. Let's address the elephant in the room. Well, I have a question about that. Is this going to... All these mass shootings that are happening, at concerts, bombings at
Yes.
concerts.
Yeah, over the past few
It's
years, we've seen.
an
Let's see, there was
increase.
the
Ariana Grande,
Ariana Grande. There was the nightclub place in Miami.
Orlando, Club Heat.
Yeah. There was this one now.
Does it deter you at all from
No.
going out to Southport?
No.
You think someone's going to go to Southport?
I don't think that anyone would ever go to Southport Hall. And,
You don't think no one's ever going to go to Southport Hall?
Well, and
Shoot
do
the
something
place.
of
Yeah,
that
there you go.
insanity.
Yeah.
I would certainly hope not. Not only for the team that runs Southport and helps put everything together, but on the behalf of the music scene.
I feel like some people don't feel safe anymore. Some people don't want to go out at all. They'll just stay at home. It's just kind of making people introverts.
I could, and I definitely do see that where situations like this could put fear into people and make them want to avoid things of this nature.
Definitely.
So, I know getting into your preparations for going off to Jamaica for our country, you have been trying to get as much in as possible, spending time with friends, family,
Hookers,
midgets,
Yeah.
giraffes,
monkeys.
monkeys,
Yep.
including House of Shock. You got to go
Yes.
to House of Shock. This weekend was opening weekend of House of Shock.
Opening night of House of Shock. Let me kind of quickly wrap it up for you. So we couldn't do the regular stage show that we usually do due to family emergency. Lord Belial had a infection.
Yes.
So due to that, we still shot off the pyro. It wasn't our regular planned.
Yeah, the storyline that.
The storyline that we were going to do.
Yes.
We actually had to change that. We have an understudy, and we're going to get General Abaddon to come in. But we told everyone there, hey, you can come back any other night besides tonight to check out the show, check out the bands. That doesn't cost anything. The only thing that costs money is going through the haunted house and the bar.
Which we can encourage everyone
to go out.
Go to.
Every night we have a different band there. The opening night we had Remedy, which Adam Sauter from
Arbitrary. Yes.
Then we had, I think, the Baton Rouge local band Merriweather, and it was a $5 off zombie prom thing, for Saturday night. More people than I expected for opening night. It was one of the better openings. We had a full barricade, full crowd. We had an entire crowd at the outside of the bands, listening to music the entire time. So it's good that we had two bands that were able to bring in a crowd.
Even with the huge crowds that Gretna Fest was getting with, I think Saturday night was Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, that's very impressive for y'all to...
Well, also for Remedy, because I'm pretty sure they played Gretna Fest this year, and then also...
Right afterwards basically hours after, went and played House of Shock.
House of Shock. And that was pretty cool. I got a couple thousand photos. Made sure to just get as many photos and videos of my one night there. We had a themed World War II party afterward, because every Saturday night we have a party.
Right.
It was a World War II themed, and we had people dressed up in uniform and all that. It was good. But that was pretty much it. New wax house and all that. House of Wax.
Yes.
Everything pretty much a lot smoother than some other years.
Let's see. Besides House of Shock, and I think it kind of relates to the House of Shock family, JP. I think this week JP officially got out of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
JP has been on our show couple times doing different shots or different cocktails for us.
Mm-hmm.
JP, if you're watching this, speedy recovery. If you need anything, I'm here for you.
Make sure you keep your feet elevated, by the way.
Yeah, we
Plenty of rest.
want nothing but you to get back up and running again. So do whatever your doctor's telling you, JP.
Then we also, one thing I've noticed since I've been kind of packing up the house is how much crap I have. Just useless things, just little small knickknacks that I really don't need. That's
Yeah,
one
you
thing I
collect them
noticed.
over the years. I mean,
Yeah, you really don't. Yeah, I think everyone needs to move out of their place every 3 years. Really clean house. You're like, I really don't need this. Oh.
yeah, I still have stuff that's in boxes from last time I moved.
Mm-hmm.
That's just shit that, I mean, like you said, knickknacks or maybe old utensils or tools or
Mm-hmm.
things that I didn't have the heart to throw it away at that time,
Yeah.
just because I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna need to use this,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, I can guarantee you, probably half of it still hasn't been used.
Yeah.
So
You have. Well, I brought this up because you have a problem. We need to throw some of this stuff here away.
Oh.
You
well,
start by throwing away that computer.
okay, all right. Well,
Let's see. Music and bands / entertainment update for me because we haven't done one of these episodes for a couple weeks.
yeah, like I said, with all of your preparations for your
I'm just trying to spend as much time. I'm so just
Yeah, I mean,
exhausted.
last
I'm so exhausted and drained right now. Like I've been having just to dump coffee into my body. I'm just so worn out. Just from trying to spend every waking second with all my friends and all my family.
So, well, with music, let's see. This past weekend, I went and saw Bending, Chemical City Rebels, and Green Gasoline over at Southport Hall. Great show. Had a great time there. I mean, I never have a bad time at Southport, really.
Mhm.
And that's not just, a gray area, as some people would say. I genuinely had a great time at the show. I thought that all three of the bands did a good performance. I mean, I'd recommend if you see any of those three bands playing at a show in the upcoming weeks here or in the future, go check them out. Go check them out on Facebook. They all have, miscellaneous links to their music and videos and whatnot. Go check them out, please.
A couple bands that I was able to see, majority of them over at Southport Hall, by the way. Southport Hall.
Southport Hall.
Okay. So one of the bands is Arson Wave. They were the first band to open for the Arbitrary show, right before Stepping Sideways, then Arbitrary.
Yes.
They're from Pensacola. I got to talk to them, got some merch, bought some of their music, listened to a few of the tracks, along the lines of like prog metal type stuff. I got to catch kind of the end of their set because they're in their deck room, and on the main stage they had what band? I think they had the Mothership, right?
Yes.
I think it was Mothership.
Yeah, that was the day that Mothership and Ginger and the Bee were playing.
Yep. Then let's talk about Stepping Sideways. It was their first show a couple weeks ago, and they brought such a big crowd to that show on top of the crowd that was already there.
Yeah, that show had a fantastic fucking turnout.
Yeah, packed room, packed bar. The deck room was packed. Then outside on the actual deck, you had people out there. You had a constant rotation. between the main stage and the deck room.
Yeah, at first when I started to see Southport booking shows in the front and in the back, you know,
You're hesitant.
yeah, I was hesitant and kind of thinking in my head, I mean, in the years past when we were doing Pickle Scoop, we would for Christmas we would always do a show there in that front room, and you'd be able to hear the
Music in the back.
music in the from the
Deck-
main
the main room.
from the main room in that deck room.
Yeah.
And I would always think, oh, this is never going to work.
Two bands.
Two bands at the same time, but no, it's been working perfectly.
Yeah, they're introduced, and some of the bands are completely different that they book.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they're appealing
to where-
to two different audiences.
Yeah, to where it's not like both a metal band playing in the front room and then a metal band playing in the main room
No,
as
it's
well.
they have Mothership, the Led Zeppelin tribute band.
Yes,
and
which,
they have
which
the
does have
Arbitrary.
a little bit of crossover because let's face it, the mother of rock bands is Led Zeppelin.
Well, it's more of an attraction to. You're not gonna have the older cats
Right.
go out to the arbitrary show. But you're like, hey, Led Zeppelin tribute band Mothership's playing in the main room at Southport Hall. You're gonna have a lot more of the older people going to the main room, and then possibly going by to the deck room checking it out.
Yes. So, I've been very impressed with the mixed shows between there. Let's see. Weekend before last was they had Where Yacht, which was like yacht rock. That's where they were playing like Christopher Cross and Hall and Oates. Those '80s soft rock type hits in the main room, and then in the deck room they had Moley opened up for them, and then it was Dirt doing the Alice in Chains Unplugged.
And there's one thing that I saw in Gambit on the front cover. You have Luke Hawks on the front.
Yes.
Also with the article, I thought it was funny. Has Shock on there. Also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little duo. But with Stepping Sideways, for their very first show, to have because you could tell who they brought with them, which sucks because they had like 20, 30 minutes in between bands. They're not like Twist where they're like back to back to back, like they're trying to rush people out. I've noticed it at a few of the Southport shows, like for Zombies Eating Sheep, they waited till midnight to go on. So it's just, there's like 20, 30 minutes in between where some people I did see about a fourth of the crowd. You
Bounce between the two
bounce
two shows. Yeah,
after Stepping Sideways left, which I was kind of upset about. I could see the difference between when Stepping Sideways went on and the Arbitrary went on. You still had a good crowd, but some people did leave that I noticed.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
you're
for
gonna
their
have
first
that-
show,
yeah.
Stepping Sideways was an amazing band, and I can't wait to see what they have else to offer and how they develop as a band.
Yeah, and I'll definitely keep up with them and keep you in track of how they're doing.
One band I definitely want to highlight is something I saw at the Civic Theater. They opened up for Modest Mouse. They're called Mass Gothic. I think a few of the members are from Maryland, but they live in New York. They've been in other bands together. It's been kind of like 10 years in the making. I've been kind of doing some research on them. I bought their EP and their vinyl that's out right now, and they were touring with Modest Mouse, and music's really good. It's kind of like the early 2000s teenage angsty type stuff, but really, really reformed. It's clean. So it's kind of like Radiohead. If anything, I could kind of highlight it to more towards like Radiohead and Muse, kind of.
I'll have to check them out.
You will. You will have to check them out. You can check them out. They have the website, and they're on Spotify and all that. Bands in your backyard. Bandcamp.com. Bralo did another compilation.
Yeah, he did the one that was more in the New Orleans area.
The Louisiana State one.
Yes. And yeah, he's putting out a
Gulf
like
Coast
a second
edition
one to where it's the Gulf Coast edition.
2017.
And he's got bands from like Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. And I saw that one of the bands that's highlighted in there is our friends from Event Horizon.
And they had their song Singularity in there,
Yes.
which gave them some much needed exposure from
Yes.
from a larger audience, which in thus return got them signed with the
Yeah.
label From the Depths Entertainment. So they finally got signed. It's given them the keys to the kingdom in a way. They've gotten contacts now. So on future tours, they'll have more resources to pull and to book shows, which is good. And they also have a new drummer.
Yeah, I saw that Julian is now going to be playing drums for him.
Mm-hmm. Brennan, their drummer, because they used to be a 5-piece and they went down to a 4-piece chicken. And they're like, you know what, we really like 5-piece chicken.
Yes.
So they got Julian back in.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm interested to see how that changes dynamics and things like that.
Well, Brendan is actually a really good guitar player. When he started playing drums, I'm like, wow, that's interesting that you know how to play guitar on top of knowing how to play the drums so well, and also doing backup vocals with Gary. You know,
Yeah.
so he's just a very
Versatile.
versatile. Versatile? Versatile. Versatile?
I'd say
Versatile.
versatile.
Versatile?
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's also the Corey Mack, Uncle
hold
Corey's
on.
jokes.
Wait, you're jumping.
Huh? What?
With Event Horizon, I also have gotten to hear their demo, or I guess their EP that's going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I got an early listen to it.
I still haven't heard it.
Well, after the show, I
Excuse
might let
me.
you hear.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, after the show, I might let you hear a little bit of it.
I forgot who I was talking to.
That's right. From what I heard from it, I really liked it. I'm going to give a more comprehensive review of it here probably next week or something like that. I want to give it another listen and be able to go into more detail than just, oh, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I really dug it. I listened to it. Actually, I listened to it twice that day.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned for that. That will be coming up in the very near future. So, Mr. Corey Mack.
Yes.
Yes. I did see that Corey Mack has a CD out now.
Mm-hmm. Uncle Corey's Jokes and Stories.
And
I see how it rhymes. Yeah.
and you can actually get that online for $10. You can go to his PayPal.
At www.paypal.me//Corey Mack the Jester.
And if you don't follow Corey Mack,
You need to.
You need to. Yeah, he's always updating on his Facebook page.
Social media. You're missing out if you don't follow Corey Mack, because he's constantly posting videos on Instagram and Facebook and updates of jokes, pranks, and content,
and playing his multiple characters that
he has, and
built up. Yeah,
and you can also check out his schedule because he's a regular at a few of the bars at Bourbon. He's a regular at places like the Vinyl. What is it? No, not Vinyl. There's one place over in Araby that I usually go to that I'll see him at.
The Valiant.
The Valiant Theater. That's the one I've always seen him at. I've seen him at. I think I saw him one time at Siberia, but I usually he's associated with a burlesque troupe that I usually like to go see. Big Deal Burlesque.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of emceeing or opening up at a lot of the venues around here. So if you have, I'm sure if you go to the venues a lot, you've had to at least seen him one or two times.
Yeah, I have seen him several times with M Hog's open or not open mic, open M Hog's comedy nights that they were doing for a good while there at Twist.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hot minute since I've seen him. I need to go catch one of his shows, but I will be doing that in the very near future as well. So, Mr. Devin,
Yes.
let's turn this back on to you.
All right.
So, a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing the show with me. I think last night you had said show 15 was the first episode,
I think that's
when you
fine.
came on as a
When I came
guest.
on as a guest, but I
And
actually
then like
think
16 was, it was like 16 or 17 was when you came on
to help
to help as a co-host and
do lighting,
lighting,
And
helping out with the camera stuff. I mean,
camera.
you've been a tremendous asset to me.
Mhm.
I am going to miss the hell out of you, buddy.
I wanted to do a game where we asked each other questions, almost like a couples game, where to really see if we knew each other. Like, what's his favorite vegetable? A, avocado, B, tomato, C, onion. And I know you don't like avocados. This one
Yeah.
thing I learned about you.
Yes, it's definitely not avocado being my favorite food, mainly because it makes me violently ill.
Ah. So yeah, I wanted to do that, but I was just like, I'll enjoy the time. But yeah.
So I heard you get asked last night on Not Real Radio, what have you learned from doing the show with me?
Well, I learned that you become violently ill from eating avocados.
You have learned that, yes.
I've learned a few different things. I listened to some of our old episodes and some of the newer episodes, how I kind of deliver a story, researching what actually goes into putting on the show. I've learned better ways to do it.
Well, I think that some things that I have noticed is you have learned a lot more with interview skills. I mean, there was 1 or 2 weeks where, you saw that when you came in, that I looked like hammered dog shit. And you were like, just sit back. I got this.
Yeah.
I think one of them in particular where you really shined with that was the when we had Arbitrary, Solinar, and
Not Arbitrary. Resurface.
I'm sorry, Resurface.
Resurface.
Solunar, and
Event Horizon.
Event Horizon, yes.
Yes.
That one you really slam dunked it in that week.
That's the way.
And I think that you've learned a lot more with your camera work.
Yeah. Lenses. What lenses are used. I've learned a lot of photography skills within the past year, self-educating.
And not just here,
green
but
screening.
with your green screening.
We learned how to green screen. That's for
That's
sure.
right. We're on the beach. Deal with it.
Skits. Just it takes so much to get people together. Networking with people. It's just there's a lot that goes into this.
Well, speaking of skits, I think last time that we actually got to sit down and talk on air, you had just finished filming maybe the third or fourth time on
The third
your
movie.
movie?
Yes.
Is there any new updates on the movie?
We did the third night, and I really wanted to finish it. There's one scene left we had to do, and if I can do it before I leave, I'm gonna do it. But it doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to
You're
finish.
down to roughly a week.
4 days.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that last scene. I could conclude it now and just do a 2-parter maybe. I don't know. I haven't even sat down. I've sat down and looked through the footage, but I have not even started editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you have is just what
Raw,
you shot. Yeah.
Raw hours of raw footage and sound that I have to match up with the clip. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. If I'm going to hold on to it for a year when I get back, complete it, or if I should just start releasing the footage because it's just going to waste for a year. I should release it. I might wait a month or two while I'm gone, then release it just so that I kind of keep that presence that I'm here, you know?
Yeah. Well, I know that while you're sitting out and enjoying the spoils of the beach of Jamaica, that you probably will have a little bit of downtime.
Yeah, I might
between,
get sunburned too much, and
Yeah.
I'll have to go on to. I might have to go inside and put some aloe vera on and drink some coconut stuff and
Such a tough
eat
life.
some jerk chicken.
Yeah, such a tough life you're gonna have to
I know, it sucks.
Yeah.
But you know what? I hate sand.
Yeah, it gets everywhere.
I know. It's so coarse. That's pretty much it, man. I wish I had more time. That's the curse of man, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just
Time.
I want more time.
Time.
That's just something I really want.
So yeah, I'm gonna miss you, buddy. But we are gonna move forward
Without
while you're
me.
gone.
Okay, thank you.
But
Come
yes.
in, Harry, and he just kicks in the fucking door. Fuck you, and then
Fuck
kicks
that
me
guy,
out.
Devin.
Yeah. Just try not to ruin the show. Try to keep it going. Try to keep this thing afloat.
I will.
I'll try to do everything I can while I'm away. Oh man, this is a depressing episode.
And you know that your seat is going to be open for
Warmed.
you and
It's
nice
gonna-
and warm when you get back. But
Get up. I'm gonna be
So-
very tan when I get back.
yes,
But yeah, I'll make sure to just try to keep in contact at least, send postcards and updates.
yeah. Please do.
And I think with something I'm going to start tonight, I'm going to start mailing in updates of graphic novels, books, and comic books. And my first one is The Preacher, Volume 1.
All right.
I saw that AMC picked it up for a show, just like The Walking Dead. They're turning graphic novels into, TV shows.
Yes.
And I've only seen one episode of the AMC hit TV show Preacher, and so far from what I've read, they've got almost everything like character wise on spot. There's one guy called Arseface, Assface, pretty much.
Yes.
He tried killing himself because this book was written around when Kurt Cobain killed himself, and the character worshipped Kurt Cobain and tried killing himself just because that's a real thing that happened was
Yeah,
when
there
he
was
killed
people
himself.
who tried to copycat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he survived and his face is all deformed. But it's a really good book, really good storyline. I highly recommend it. It's by Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon. Very vulgar, very graphic. So if you like that type of thing, I highly recommend it. The art for it, it's high quality. It's not crappy. It's not half-assed. It's well thought out. It does have to do with kind of the heaven hell type of deal where the kind of apocalypse might be forming. That I'm still on Brook 1, so I don't know where it's leading, where the plot's going to be. No one has ruined it for me. This is so I'm still going on it, but right now, all I know is that a demon and an angel got together, had a baby, and then that baby spirit thing escaped, and they're trying to kill it because it's an abomination. And then that baby goes into this preacher, and that's pretty much where I'm at with that. And he has the power and the word of God inside of him. So it's an interesting thing because he can tell people to do whatever he wants to do. At one point, he tells someone to go fuck themselves. He takes off his dick, rips it off, and starts fucking himself in the ass.
So, yeah, it really does get graphic.
It gets pretty graphic and pretty vulgar. Like I said, preacher, book 1.
Book 1.
Yeah. This is my first recommendation right here. This is Devin's comic book graphic novel list thing. Yeah. More to come.
I will definitely keep that up. Mr. Devin, thank you for being a part of the show with me.
Thank you for having me on
And-
all this time.
And as always, Devin, where can people follow everything about you?
While I'm away, I'll be posting updates at www.devinflamingo.com. You can also check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/F13M1NG0. You can check me out on Instagram, Devin Flamingo. I post a lot of the photos first off on there, and then Facebook, and then the website I usually do last because it just takes so much of my time, Yeah. That's pretty much it. And you can check me out on here. I'll be popping in and out doing the comic book thing. Take up some time while I'm in Jamaica reading some comic books.
Out on the beach.
Out on the beach, enjoying my Coronas. Find your beach. Corona.
And you can follow the show at picklescoop.com, at PScoop Podcast on Twitter, on Facebook, facebook.com/The Scoop Show. On Instagram, I'm at Pickle Scoop. Subscribe on iTunes or your favorite podcast app. YouTube, if you're watching this, be sure to shake someone's hand next to you and like, comment, subscribe.
Report.
No, not report, Devin.
I'm sorry, I forgot. Share, right?
Share.
Share the video.
Share, please. So, with that being said...
Are you resting your arm?
No. Devin, thank you again. Till the next show. Scoop out.